I also think that college is a very unique time because for a lot of people, it's the first time that you're kind of living on your own. You kind of have to manage your own schedule. You don't really have people, you don't have many people nagging you on what you're supposed to be doing. You have to manage your own affairs. And I think for a lot of people, that can be really difficult, which requires a lot of empathy on behalf of your friends. So like a lot of people in college struggle with like mental or physical health. And so that really requires a lot of empathy from the college community, from your friends, from people around you, just because it's such a unique time in your life.
Speaking to that difficulty, I mean, when you come to college, you are much more vulnerable and you're on your own for the first time. You know, it's very scary. And being able to connect with other people and sharing that vulnerability and being able to have a deeper discussion about like what it is that makes you tick, like what it is that brought you here. And that's a very important discussion to have in your first few months of college, whether that's with your roommate, your hallmate, someone in an organization. There's a lot of opportunities to be empathetic, and that builds a lot of relationships for you in the future.
Yeah. I recently got accommodations for my ADHD, and it was really interesting to me how different I felt like I was being treated by my professors, sometimes the same professor, after going through that process with them. And to me, didn't really feel like much had changed, right? Like, I'm glad that there was this piece of paper that said that I was having this experience, but from the perspective of me, who has been in college for a few years now, the way that I had been experiencing the class didn't really change. But from the professor's point of view, now there was a reason, there was like another sort of factor in how they should be managing me as a student and talking to me. And all of a sudden there was so much more grace for me and, making sure that I could turn in an assignment on time, or that I was given the right resources for accomplishing that assignment. And it kind of opened my eyes to how we might be making some preconceptions about students or professors before we really fully understand their perspective. And maybe everyone deserves that level of grace and that level of flexibility, whether or not they're diagnosed with something or there's like a, codified reason why we should empathize with them more, Yeah. And I think that professors probably feel the same way in many ways. They are often creating expectations for students, and they're trying to put their best forward in the classroom and also outside of the classroom in their research, whatever else they're doing. And I think that students often hold them up to this sort of idea of perfection that is really difficult for anyone to become. And professors do a pretty good job of being perfect, considering how many things they're juggling all at once in the college environment. So yeah, I think there's reasons why everyone in the college community could work a little bit harder to understand where we're coming from and let each other exist in these spaces and fulfill these expectations that we have for ourselves and each other in a more understanding way.